Yeah, I do the drugs, I don't give a fuck what you think. I got blood, I got mud, I got bud, I got drink.
Hey everybody, Scythe here again. This video I'm making a little tutorial just because I haven't really seen a good tutorial on this anywhere, and I have been looking all over trying to figure out how to do this, trying to rework other people's characters, that I know that can make clones and stuff like that, and none of it ever made any sense to me. But then I got this Hashirama Senju, Hokage Hashirama. It's a newer one. I can even check who he's by real quick, just to give a little credit. Okay, so Mikkel, 8888, and then someone I'm not sure, but I'm sure they did. Oh, and then Vez the Gamer did the edit. Always does great edits. I should have just assumed that. Especially with how OP this character is. But getting a little sidetracked. It's the first character I found that I was looking at their clone code, and it made perfect sense to me. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do it right now. This is mostly for my buddy Dinzai. It's something that we've been trying to figure out together for a long time now, and yeah, I've only done this once or twice, so a lot of it will just be copy and paste from Hashirama, which is why I want to make sure to give credit. But yeah, you can obviously edit it to your liking, and I'll kind of explain how to do that too, just so everybody that watches this isn't just copying and pasting, because that shit just gets old, let's be honest. Alright, so I'm going to do it with Orochimaru. We're going to ignore these right here. Those are just other projects I'm working on and shit like that right now, so I just have them open because I've been working on them today. But okay, we're going to get started. We're going to go bring Orochimaru over here to the States. Obviously, you're going to want to know at least kind of what you're doing with coding to even start any of this. Otherwise, you're going to be lost, just so you know. So we find it in his Sage mode. What it is, it starts here, 15-0-23. And this is his wood clones. I'm not even going to try to say any of this shit, blah, 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 no jutsu. Clones is what I'm going to call it. On my yusuke that I added clones to, little spoiler for a character I got coming, I did change all these to clones. It obviously doesn't have to say that. But this is our first state, and this is the start of it right here. This is us actually putting up like a hand sign or whatever and activating the clones. So we're going to look at Hashirama's just to get a nice reference. The animation, I believe, was 1200. Yep, perfect. And this doesn't have to be exact either, as you'll see. But yeah, basically it's just boom. Yeah, see, he's summoning his clones like that, and they appear around him. He summons 4 of them. And you can change that too, more or less. I'll show you how. So then we're going to want to go over to Orochimaru. And we're going to go ahead and search, make sure he doesn't already have... Okay, he already does have a 1200. So what we're going to do with that is just go ahead and make sure he doesn't have a 1201. I'm just going to make 1201. Keep it simple, You can do whatever you want, really, with the animation numbers. It's all up to you. But we'll name it Clone Start. And I mean, it can be anything, really, whatever you want to make the animation for summoning a clone. There was something I had in mind that was a little goofy. I know somewhere around here he's got some hand sign sprites, but goddamn. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, just to be kind of goofy. Go ahead and boom, 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 boom. Alright, and then that way, when he does his creepy little neck stretchy thing, that'll be him summoning his clones. What I like to do is maybe like a 3 for all of them except the last one. Make that like 30. This is just my preference, because then it's like he's doing the action, holding it for a second, you know? And I'm not even going to bother making his neck go back down, because I just really don't care about it that much. You know, obviously, you'd probably want it to be a couple more frames and go back to normal when he's done. But we're just going to do it like this. Boom, boom. Alright. I'm not even going to worry about collision boxes or anything like that. You can if you want, but for super moves, you really, most times, if there's like a pause or it's just a quick one, you don't really need them. Alright, so then now that we have that first animation, I guess probably should have started with this, but we're gonna go ahead and do the old, at least start this way, because that's a lot of fucking states, you know? That's a lot of states, all the way down to here. This is all cloning stuff, and you can have less or more if you want. I'll explain why when we get there. But yeah, we're going to start here. We're going to go ahead and copy all of it, all the way down to 15,022. So let's see how far we are. 15. Oh, almost there. All right. And like I said, I've only done this a couple times, so every once in a while I might have to backtrack or something. I try not to do that because it makes things hard to follow, honestly. You know, not to talk down on one of the masters, one of the OGs, but that's why sometimes I have a hard time following some of Ryan's videos. Just because, like me, he doesn't seem to like to do a lot of editing in his videos, cutting out where he messes up or anything like that. And it can get hard to follow, you know, following him do something and then having to backtrack. And so I really try not to, but I'm sorry if I do. So yeah, just go ahead and copy and paste it. I do it at the bottom of the specials because you see they're usually much higher numbers, so it just kind of makes sense to do it right at the bottom of his specials or supers, or you can honestly do it here if you want to. And it really doesn't matter. And if you're new to M.U.G.E.N coding, you'll find that a lot of things don't matter as much as you might think they would. So, alright, this is the beginning of it. That animation that we made, gotta change that 1201, because that's the animation we made. Power add, because it's a super. The play sounds, I'm not going to do it right now, but generally I delete them all because I am going to add my own sounds if I'm making my own character, if I'm not just editing a character like this. I'm just going to leave them in. It shouldn't mess anything up, I don't think. If it does when we try to test it, then I'll just go through and delete them. It'll just take a minute, really. These helpers are the actual clones themselves being summoned. It's all the same. 1512, 1512, 1512. It's all the same helper. That just tells you how many clones. You delete one of these, he'd only summon 3. Pretty straightforward. So from there, we're going to go to the stand. Almost everybody, at least in the Just, community, I don't really mess with other M.U.G.E.Ns, so I couldn't speak for them. But the stand animation is 0. And what this is now, sorry, getting a little ahead of myself. I like to do this first. So we summon the clones, right? And then we're going to go to their actual intro. And I just feel like it's good to get this out of the way because it just makes sense to me to do it in this order. We're going to go to the end of Orochimaru because he doesn't have any animations that are this big. So we just go right to the end. It'll be the last ones. Do it in order. This is his intro, right? Yep. Perfect. Make a new one. 1502. And this will actually be the clones appearing. And now, you generally do like some sort of smoke poof or something like that, but I don't think Orochimaru has one of those. Orochimaru, sorry, kind of said that stupid. Anywhere that I know of, and I'm not going to go through all of his animations right now, so we'll just do what I did on my Yusuke, since he didn't have any smoke poofs and I didn't feel like finding one. We'll just put him in random stand frame, right? And we'll do like add 10 of them, maybe, just about. And what I like to do if you don't have any, poof, smoke, is I like to change the time to like 3, just generally like quicker things, personally. I give it a transparency, give it to all the frames, and I'm using Fighter Factory 3, just for anybody that is curious. I'll probably put that in the description since I didn't say it at the beginning. Sorry about that. So source, because we're gonna want them to start, basically invisible, so we're gonna do like 25, maybe even like 35, so you can barely see them. So then next, 75, it doesn't have to be exactly this, I just kind of do it roughly. 125, 185. Now, this is just off the top of my head, random numbers. Then we'll do like 225, and then boom, the full one. And then next, we're going to start cutting this one down. Make it 200, make it like 220. Make it 180, 180. And then make it 120. See, that was a little, rough. Probably could have added a couple extra frames to make it a little smoother, but you see, that's kind of what we got. He's appearing. Makes sense, right? This will be our clone intro. And funny enough, you don't even need one for the outro for when they disappear. Not really sure why it works that way, but I'll explain it to the best of my knowledge when we get there. Alright, so we did the intro. Now we're going to want to go back up. Well, this is the activation, so we'll go to the next one, which is just stand. This is all coding for the clones now that we're doing. This is all helper shit. And I like to start at the stand. This change anim right here is just for Hashirama's transformation. If you don't got a transformation, or if you're only making it in one form of the transformation or whatever, you don't want the move to be active in both, just go ahead and delete it. Don't need it. Keep the turn, because that's for the walk forward. It's for standing, but it's so you only need a walk forward. You see, you never have to do a walk backward for them. You can if you want, but it just makes sense to just have the walk forward. They're always going to be chasing the opponent then, Jump state, hit state, these are all, just different parameters for it. Random, distance from the player to, for these different actions that you're going to tell your clone to be able to do. And we'll go down. Let's see, we got this fin here, finished, has the same animation as start. And we'll get to how that works later. That's the last thing I do generally. Intro, then we jump down to walk forward. Animation, 100. We're going to double check real quick, because you never know with different characters, or if you're making your own, you could have, done it differently. So that, for Orochimaru and for Hashirama, is their run forward. You can make it your walk if you want. It honestly might look better if it was his walk, because then all my clones are going to be slithering like snakes, but I'm going to leave it. Leave it 100. Don't even got to change it if you're running or walking. Is already 100, and you like that for it. Again, another change anim for the transformation. Don't need it. At least Orochimaru doesn't. Play sounds, might not need that either. Jump, so I don't know why his is 50. It drives me crazy, because all the characters I've done this to don't have a 50. So what we're going to do is go to find his jump. I obviously speak English, so I don't know exactly what it is, but I believe, boom, that looks like jumping. 41. So we'll change that anim to 41, because that's our jump animation. So we're basically just customizing this to a new character. It's a simple, move copy thing, really. But like I said, you can make it your own a little bit towards the end. 44, this is jump land. We'll see if he's got that. 44. Yeah, looks a little weird for a jump land, but we'll call it good. 44. Get rid of the change anim. I don't even think you really have to get rid of it. It just saves up memory and, all that jazz. The less unnecessary code you have, the less your shit's gonna crash and all that. Okay, so this is the land. Okay, so that was probably coming down from the jump. Is what that was. So we'll check 47. Yep, and that's landing. That looks more like a jump land. Okay. Get rid of the change anim. Hit 1. All right, this is where things start getting a little fun. So look here, hit 1, 200. I'm sure it probably is. Most people do have their first punch 200. I should have just searched it, but all right. And you can make these any of the attacks you want, and I will show you how after this first one, because we're just going to keep it simple first. So that's his 200. That's fine. Totally fine. Don't need the change in. And we're going to go ahead and keep the hit def and everything the same as it is, because I'm pretty sure Hashirama's is also just a simple punch like that. So we really don't have to change anything. Hit number 2. What I like to do to mix things up a little bit, it can get a little overpowered, especially if you keep it 4 clones. I like to make one of these hits a super. That way, every now and again, your clones will fire a super instead of just punching. And it, obviously is going to make them much tougher. And the way we do this is I already know off the top of my head that Orochimaru, we're already in his specials. Sorry, special, super, whatever. 1000 is one of his specials. So we're going to change it to 1000, right? Simple enough. But it still has all this information for some sort of regular punch. So what we do then, very simple. God, I keep thinking it's over here because my Yusuke has everything there. So specials, we're going to go up to the 1000. We're going to go ahead and, I don't need the play sounds, or really the super pause. You know what, I'm just going to take all of it. It doesn't really matter. Just take all of it. Keep it accurate, Could have some effect on the move. You don't need the change state. You don't need the end. Do not take that. I assume it'll probably mess things up if you do, So copy that. I'm going to go down to this move hit 2, which was like this one, I think. Nope, that's 1, 2. All right, 1000. And you're going to go over all this all the way down to right before the change state. And see, that's why you don't take it, because you already got one for this. And it's different. We're going to paste it. Boom. Now, whenever it triggers the move hit 2, which is often, he's going to shoot that super out. And you notice I didn't copy this because it's basically the same, except for it had a negative power add, but I don't want my clones to be stealing my power, so they can just do that super all the day they want. I don't really care about it. 310, I'll probably just leave that too, just to keep things simple, but as you just saw, you're free to change it to any super you got going on. Oh, he doesn't have a 310, so we'll make it 300. Just like the last one was to begin with. Boom. Simple enough, right? And, to be safe, we probably should copy everything from the 300 and put it in here, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that Hashirama's is just a simple punch of some sort. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it shouldn't really matter. Shuriken throw, that, another place you could just put another super or something, like with my Yusuke, I put his spirit gun here. I can't recall if this Orochimaru has any projectiles or anything like that, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete the whole Shuriken throw one. Oh, jeez, oh, Pete's, man. Slow down. But you can do what you want with it, you know. It would just be like any of the other moves I'm showing you right now. Alright, and then we got air punches, and I'm pretty sure these are the same for Orochimaru. Most Naruto characters are pretty similar. Alright, so yeah, I already know that's almost exactly what Hashirama's is. So I'll just delete the change animation and leave it. He can just kind of have that for his air hit. These hip sparks might be a problem. I don't think he has that. And I think it'll get mad if we have that code in there without an existing animation for it. This we're going to leave 2, air hit 2. So, you know, again, if you want him to be doing something different when he does these jumping punches, you're free to change it to whatever you want. I'm going to remove this hit spark again, because again, you know, don't have that. I already checked in Orochimaru earlier. He's one of the people I practiced this on. Alright. So that is most of what we do. So we're going to go back up to the 15-0-10, the standing. And I'm just going to show you real quick. So we got all these. Boom, 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 obviously. Random less than 100. I believe you'd make this smaller if you want him to do that specific move less. If you want them to do it at a different distance, you'd make this bigger or smaller if you want it to be when they're behind him, or, you know, whatever, you know, negative or whatever. You know, it's really straightforward. You know, whoever came up with this coding for these clones is just so good, like so good, and props to them all day long. So the last thing, I believe, I guess there's 2 more things, I believe, is we're going to go to Hashirama. We're going to go to his AI here. Because we're going to want to look in his -3 and find, the way I did this, if you're curious, is, so I thought I was done at this point after I added a command for it and everything. But then I noticed that when my clones would get punched, they would not disappear. And so I was like, okay, well then I'm going to want to look for the finished clone state, right? 15-0-11. And then go to Hashirama. And I searched through all these for different 15-0-11. And then I found this in the -3. So what we're going to want to do is copy this. And this is the part I really don't know exactly what this is doing, other than somehow it makes it to where when your clones get hit, they go away. And they like fade out. It's really nice. I don't quite understand the code for it, but I'm not complaining. So go to your -3. I just paste it right at the top, just like that. You know, make a little separator for the end of it, if you like to do that. I know some people don't. And then, yeah, we're going to make a command for it. Just to make it simple, I just copy this again, you know. And what it is for Hashirama, it is crouching while holding down and C. And Orochimaru does not have any move that is holding down and C, so that works perfectly. Did I even copy that? I think I just highlighted it. Copy. And then we'll just go probably right at the top, honestly. Should be fine. Oh, that's basics. Specials. So I'll just do it right at the top of specials. There we go. Boom. Make a bottom divider. I should have just copied it from where I was copying from, but that's alright. Boom. Alright. And that takes us to the 15-0-23, and that should do it now, I think. Let's test it.
始めようかしら。
This battle is about to explode. Fight!
ラップ作ってみたいよね。
Down.
俺は黒ね。家ではゴロね。犬の子供は黒ね。
that's just what I like to do. That's a good example of how it's going. Real quick, I'm going to look at why that first animation is not working correctly. Why did you not fade in? You should. That's the transparency. I guess I'll look at my yusuke real quick. Please just try to ignore any of the coding in there because it's a character I'm working on and, you know, it's very close to me. Haven't shared it with many people. But, alright, we'll go here. Oh, yeah, I might not even have to show much of the coding or anything. 1502. This kind of works. Okay, I didn't even have his fade in. Did I just use that Phantom Sense one? No, clone intro. 1508, I changed it to. Yeah, and his works the same. So let me see the coding real quick for the intro. I did put it in my supers. Clones. Intro. Got the not hit by, the change state, orochimaru. What is up with yours? Shouldn't need anything else. Oops. Not hit by. I don't think the play sound should mess with it at all. Seems weird that it would. Well, that's the only thing that's different. So yeah, I guess I'll test it again right now then. And I mean,
始めようかしら。
ちょっとラップしてみ
everything
たよ。
else seemed to work
ラ
perfectly
ップ
fine
作っ
for
て
it.
みたいよね。俺はこう
That's it. That's really it. Yeah, guys. I hope you liked it. Brett, Dinzai, I hope I helped you out, brother. I hope it was easy enough to follow. And yeah, you know, you guys can always hit me up if you got questions or requests or any of that other good shit. Scythe, signing out. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you want, but I don't really care.